Okay, www.powerfulradiofm.com. You know what time it is. It's the Ken Davis Radio Show. Slip and Slide DJs definitely in the building. Got a little something different for you guys today. We got the Filipino with the lingo. the homie the homie Roscoe Umali on the phone. What's going on, bro?
What's good, my dude? Just checking in with you. Happy New Year.
Hey man, same to you, bro. And be prosperous and be blessed.
Man, you already know.
Already, man. You doing big things over there on the West Coast, man. You making a lot of noise out there, bro.
Oh man, we excited, man. We were just very fortunate to have a great '08. With our single, number one independent single in the country, Live It Up, featuring Bobby Valentino and E40, with the remix with Pitbull on there as well. You know what I'm saying? So this year we're just looking to continue that success and, stay blessed all nine.
No doubt, no doubt. Now, for the people in my audience who might not know who Roscoe O'Malley is, let's give them a quick introduction, because I know you done worked with some of everybody. Everybody been co-signing you. Let them know, let them know, you know what I'm saying, where you started from, and what you're trying to do.
Well, like I said, Roscoe Umali, that's my government, and I figured why not that be my real rap name as well. And I kind of got back into the game in hip-hop, about 3 years ago. After establishing my own businesses, I just, decided one day, you know what, I want to do what I love, and that's the music. So since then, we've been really blessed to work with a lot of the great artists in hip-hop, in the hip-hop community, put out good records for the streets as well as the radio. We've been touring and doing a lot of shows as of late. But, we're pretty well known in our area and our region out here on the West Coast, but we're looking to break out of here and really take it nationally. So, we've been very fortunate to work with a lot of the artists, be it from the East Coast, like Talib Kweli and, Smith and Weston and Raekwon from Wu-Tang, down to the South where, we've had the benefit of working with Pitbull, Sean Paul, Bun B, dudes like that, and then obviously all the support we garnish out here on the West Coast. I've become an artist that's, trying to make my name in the game and make good music for the people.
No doubt, no doubt. Now, so you've been doing it just a little while now, just 3 years. That's not that long, but you done really moved up, you know what I'm saying, made your claim. I know you got shoes.
Yeah.
You like the all around businessman, bro.
Yeah, man, it's been great. I tell you, I think a lot of our success has happened quickly. Comes from my background as an entrepreneur, man. I was a businessman before I got into the game, so I didn't really have to deal with a lot of that, that typical artists normally go through. I came at it with more of a business mind frame as opposed to just doing music. So we really pride ourselves on not only knowing the music aspect and, making good music, but at the same time, understanding the business of the game and going with the changes. Because as you and I both know, man, there's been a lot of changes in the music game just in the last 3 years. So I think it's our ability to adjust with the changes that's really been beneficial for us.
Right, no doubt. Now let me ask you, as far as the reception, when you first started off, as far as wanting to rap, did you get a good reception considering you're a Filipino rapper? I know sometimes in some areas, some people tend to not accept, certain type of things or certain type of music. What was it like for you, though?
Well, I think for us, I was very fortunate. I really got my notoriety out here on this thing called the Wake Up Show with Sway and Tech. I know it's one of the longest standing hip-hop radio shows in history. And, I really broke out there on that show. It's the same show that broke Eminem, the Wu-Tang Clan, Biggie Smalls, Tupac. Everybody came through the Wake Up Show. So it was kind of like the big leagues of hip-hop. And to go through that route and be on there 20 consecutive weeks, which was even longer than Eminem's run, it really kind of helped me garnish that acceptance in the hip-hop community. I never really wanted to come at it like, oh, he's a dope Filipino rapper. My strategy from the get-go was for people to understand I'm a dope rapper who happens to be Filipino. And I think by coming at him like that, it made it a lot easier for people to swallow. And plus, the state of hip-hop today is such an international thing now. It's an international culture, wherein before it was just confined to, the streets and, this and that. I mean, now it's international. So, I've had success overseas, did our thing out there, because I used to produce as well. So I've already produced about 3-4 platinum albums overseas. So, coming at it from like a global perspective, it really wasn't a problem for me to get accepted in hip-hop because, I went through the right channels and did it the right way.
Okay. Now, that's big, man. I didn't know you was on the Wake Up Show 20 weeks consecutively, man. That's real big. So what you on there, like freestyling, battling, or?
Yeah. There's freestyles, the battles. I was in the 100K battle.
Okay.
I was a leader of that. Sway and Tech pretty much discovered me. I just come up there, just rapping, just hungry, and I was freestyling the first time there. One of the most memorable episodes, I showed up, and I guess Q-Tip and the Jungle Brothers was supposed to be interviewed that day, but for some reason or not, they didn't end up showing up. So Sway and Tech was like, "Man, we need you to just bust for the whole show." So I was like, "Man, I'll take the opportunity." And it just so happened it was one of those nights where I was just on one, and I was really giving the business. And I rapped for like 8 segments in a row, and it happened to be that one of the big DJs out here, DJ Felly Fell, who's also a Power 106, a big DJ, as well as having his own production credits. He was listening on the radio, and, he was so impressed by what went down. He just drove to the station and was like, "Man, who is this guy?" And from there, that kind of started off my radio buzz,
Right.
But really, the Wake Up Show is what got it for me, man. I'm a battle MC. I mean, I make records, I make songs that's ready for the radio, but I'm also well known around the battle circles for chopping heads off, so.
Right.
That's what we done.
That's what's up. Speaking of that, I was gonna get into as far as what do you think, or what are you gonna bring like different to the game? Than that's not already out there. What's your style? What makes you?
You know what? I'm one of like the throwback rappers, man. I think rappers these days are so one-dimensional sometimes, where you have like the single rappers that just make songs for the radio, or then you have the battle rappers that just rap but they don't make songs. I've always prided myself on being a well-rounded MC. You know what I mean? That's able to do the battle raps and give everybody, the internet bloggers and everybody that's still into that, I could give them that. But at the same time, I could create the records that get on the radio and are good for the masses, and it's understanding that distinction that really make the good rappers great. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So, I just create my own lane, man. I do my own thing. We're independent. We got our own bread, so it's not like I came into the game looking for bread. You know what I mean? It's like I do it because I'm nice and because I love it, not because I need the bread. Right. And I think that comes off in our music. It's not desperate. It's just, it's how I feel.
Okay. Now, speaking of, as far as you say you got your own bread, so you on your own label, right? Is it Artisan Records? Am I correct?
Yeah. Yep. The label's called Artisan Entertainment. Like I said, aside from myself, we have other acts as well that we're going to reveal this new year. It's our label that we start our own.
Right.
We got our own clothing and merchandise brand. We print and distribute our own CDs independently. We're very savvy on the internet. It's like I said, there's ways of being a profitable business, and you don't have to rely on the majors necessarily.
So I can say, with this economy, you not struggling, right? Roscoe Umali not hurting right now.
I mean, we're okay. I'm what all these rappers that they rap about. I'm already that dude. About the ice and the paper and the houses and the whips and all that.
Right.
I was already that dude before getting into the game. So a lot of the fantasy raps that some of these dudes have, that's it's just real talk to me.
Right.
That's why it's real easy.
Okay. Now you also a graduate of UCLA, right?
Yeah. I graduated summa cum laude, valedictorian at UCLA. So, aside from all the other accolades we have in the music game, I always know I have that to fall back on as well.
Right. Okay, no doubt. Yeah, let's get into a little bit of like your personal life. You know what I mean? Like what type of music does Roscoe Umali listen to when you just jam and you own one?
Man, I love hip hop music, man. Like my favorite era was the golden era. So anytime I'm riding in the car, I'm listening to Tribe Called Quest. You know what I'm saying? Death Certificate from Ice Cube. Just
right.
The classics. I'm into the classics.
Okay. Now tell me a little bit about this album. I guess it's a mixtape. I Love My DJs.
Yeah. I Love My DJs is actually it's a series. We had the first I Love My DJs. I Love My DJs